Samsung is gearing up to shake up the flagship market again, and the latest Galaxy S27 series leak suggests a surprisingly bold direction. Instead of chasing more lenses and bigger camera numbers just to win spec sheet battles, Samsung may be rethinking what Ultra really means in 2027. At the center of the conversation is the Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra, a phone that, according to rumors, could drop one of its most recognizable camera features, the 3x telephoto lens. And while that sounds like a downgrade at first, the leak points to a bigger goal: better battery life, smarter internal design, and a more efficient flagship experience. Alongside the Ultra, the leak also spotlights a new premium option, the Galaxy S27 Pro. If this holds true, Samsung may finally be addressing a growing group of users who want flagship power in a more comfortable size, without being forced into the biggest, heaviest phone in the lineup. This could be one of Samsung's most meaningful lineup changes in years, and it all comes down to priorities. Galaxy S27 Ultra leak, a new Ultra strategy for a long time. Samsung's Ultra phones have followed a familiar formula: bigger display, bigger battery, and a camera system packed with multiple zoom options. That's why the claim that Samsung might remove the 3x telephoto camera from the Galaxy S27 Ultra is turning heads. The 3x lens has been a key part of Samsung's zoom identity, especially for portraits and everyday mid-range zoom shots. But the leak suggests Samsung may be ready to trade that dedicated lens for something many users care about even more: battery endurance and internal space. By removing the 3x module, Samsung could free up room inside the chassis, room that can be used for a larger battery, potentially well beyond the long-standing 5,000mm ceiling. Improved cooling and internal layout changes, a thinner, lighter build without sacrificing flagship durability. If Samsung pulls this off, the Galaxy S27 Ultra could become the Ultra that people actually feel in daily life, not just the Ultra you notice when zooming into a subject once in a while. Bigger battery rumors. Breaking the 5,000 mAh barrier battery life has been one of the most consistent user complaints across modern flagship phones, especially as screens get brighter, chips get faster, and AI features run more processes in the background. The leak claims Samsung may finally be ready to go bigger, with a rumored 5,500 mAh battery made possible by silicon carbon battery technology. If accurate, this would be a major shift for Samsung, which has often stayed close to 5,000 mAh on its top models. A jump to 5,500 mAh, combined with efficiency improvements, could mean noticeably longer screen-on time, more reliable all-day performance, and less battery anxiety for power users. Camera upgrades still matter: 200 megapixels. With variable aperture dropping, one camera doesn't necessarily mean Samsung is stepping away from photography. In fact, the leak suggests the Galaxy S27 Ultra will still focus heavily on camera performance, just with a different approach. One of the headline rumors is a next-generation 200 megapixel main camera featuring variable aperture technology. In practical terms, variable aperture can help the camera adapt to different lighting conditions more naturally, letting in more light at night and controlling exposure better during the day. The goal would be simple: make the main camera so strong and flexible that it can cover more situations without needing extra lenses for every range. How Samsung could replace the missing 3x lens, though? Biggest question is obvious. If there's no dedicated 3x telephoto, what happens to portraits and mid-range zoom? The leak hints that Samsung could rely on a combination of high-resolution in-sensor crop from the 200 megapixel main camera to simulate 3x quality shots, a stronger periscope telephoto, rumored 5x optical, to handle longer zoom ranges, improved computational photography, and AI zoom processing to preserve detail. This is a risky strategy, because digital replacement only works if the results are consistently good. If Samsung nails it, most users won't miss the 3x lens. If Samsung doesn't, this will be the first thing reviewers test and the first thing critics attack. A thinner, lighter Galaxy S27 Ultra could be the real upgrade. Ultra phones are powerful, but they're also big. If Samsung is truly redesigning the internal structure, we could see an Ultra model that feels more modern in the hand. Slimmer edges, reduced weight, and improved portability without losing the premium materials or durability expected from Samsung's top tier. The leak also points toward a titanium frame and a refined chassis that could make the S27 Ultra easier to carry and use for longer. Periods, something that matters just as much as camera specs for many. Buyers, Galaxy S27 Pro, the flagship for people who don't want a giant phone. The other major part of this leak is the Samsung Galaxy S27 Pro, which could become the most important phone in the lineup for a huge group of users. Samsung has tried Plus models and different tiers before, but a true Pro model positioned between the base and Ultra could signal something more deliberate. A premium phone that focuses on comfort and balance. According to the rumor, the Galaxy S27 Pro may feature a 6.4-inch display, offering a more compact footprint while still delivering a high-end experience. If you've ever wanted flagship performance without carrying a small tablet in your pocket, this is exactly the kind of device people have been asking for. Galaxy S27 Pro leaks. Features that could make it a fan favorite. The rumored S27 Pro isn't being framed as a budget flagship. Instead, it's being positioned as a premium choice with smart features such as a privacy display mode designed to reduce visibility in public spaces, better camera setup than the standard Galaxy S27a battery upgrade that balances endurance with a slimmer body. If Samsung executes this correctly, the Galaxy S27 Pro could become the most recommended model in the lineup, the one that gives most users everything they want without forcing them into ultra size or ultra pricing. Rumored Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra specs leak summary. Based on what's circulating right now, here's a clean breakdown of the rumored Galaxy S27 Ultra specification sheet. Expected launch: January-February 2027. Display: 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X. QHD plus refresh rate: 120 Hz LTPO brightness. Up to 3000 nits peak glass. Gorilla Glass Armor 2. Rumored privacy display integration chipset: Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro custom tuned. RAM: 12GB, 16GB LPDDR6 rumored. Storage: 256GB, 512GB, 1TB UFS 4.1. Rear cameras: triple camera setup with redesigned layout. Main: 200MP ISOCELL HP6. Variable aperture, plus Lofic ultra wide, 50MP with autofocus telephoto, 50MP periscope, 5x optical front camera, 12MP. Rumored Polar ID 3D face biometrics battery, 5500 mAh silicon carbon, charging, 60W wired, 5W wireless, QI2 magnetic software, Android 17 plus 1 UI 9. 7 years updates plus new Galaxy AI build. Titanium frame, thinner and lighter than S26 Ultra's pen. Yes, embedded the big story. Samsung shifting from more features to better experience. If these leaks are accurate, the Galaxy S27 series represents a real philosophical shift. Instead of stacking features just because competitors do, Samsung may be focusing on what actually improves daily use: battery life, portability, efficiency, and meaningful camera upgrades rather than redundant lenses. The Galaxy S27 Ultra dropping the 3x telephoto lens would be the clearest example of that strategy, because it's a change that will spark debate. But it could also lead to a phone that lasts longer, feels better in hand, and delivers a more consistent flagship experience. And the Galaxy S27 Pro could be Samsung's acknowledgement that not everyone wants the biggest phone to get premium features. Early 2027 could be a turning point for Samsung flagships with an early 2027 launch window rumored. There's still plenty of time for details to change. But the direction of this leak is clear. Samsung might be preparing one of its most interesting flagship lineups in years, one that challenges what people expect from an Ultra, while finally giving compact phone fans a serious high-end option. If Samsung gets the balance right, the Galaxy S27 Ultra and Galaxy S27 Pro could redefine what users expect from a modern Android flagship in 2027. If it doesn't, removing the 3x telephoto will become the most controversial decision Samsung has made in its camera strategy in a long time.